United States is one of the countries most affected by hurricanes in history, especially along the East Coast and the Gulf of Mexico. Each year, a series of powerful storms strike the United States, causing significant loss of life and property. States such as Florida, Texas, and Louisiana regularly experience the devastation caused by storms, from hurricanes with strong winds, heavy rains that cause flooding, to powerful tornadoes. In recent years, the increased frequency and intensity of hurricanes, such as Hurricane Katrina in 2005 and Hurricane Harvey in 2017, have posed major challenges to disaster preparedness and post-disaster reconstruction. These storms not only devastate communities and infrastructure, but also have a serious impact on the United States economy and environment. Hurricane Katrina in 2005 was one of the worst natural disasters in U.S. history. Making landfall on the Gulf Coast in late August, Katrina quickly became a Category 5 hurricane with winds of up to 175 mm/s. As the storm swept across Louisiana and Mississippi, it caused catastrophic flooding, particularly in New Orleans, where the levee system could not withstand the pressure of the water and broke, flooding 80% of the city. The storm's impact was devastating, with more than 1,800 people killed and hundreds of thousands left homeless. The storm not only destroyed infrastructure, including roads, bridges, and homes, but also devastated the region's economy, with total damage estimated at $125 billion. Local and federal authorities were heavily criticized for their ineffective preparation and response, which left many people in miserable conditions for days after the disaster. Katrina became a symbol of our vulnerability to the power of nature and a hard lesson in the importance of disaster preparedness and response. Hurricane Harvey in 2017 was one of the most powerful storms to ever hit the United States, causing extensive damage to both life and property. Harvey began as a tropical depression in the Gulf of Mexico before developing into a Category 4 hurricane, with winds of up to 130 mph. When it made landfall on the Texas coast in late August, Harvey brought record rainfall, leaving much of Houston and surrounding areas underwater. Harvey was particularly devastating due to the massive amount of rain it brought, with totals reaching more than 6 inches, 1,500 mm in some areas, causing widespread flooding. Tens of thousands of homes and buildings were flooded, many areas were isolated, and hundreds of thousands of people were evacuated. In Houston, the fourth largest city in the United States, flooding paralyzed the transportation system, with thousands of cars submerged and many roads turned into rivers. Harvey's property damage was estimated at $125 billion, making it one of the costliest hurricanes in U.S. history, rivaling Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Although only about 90 people died, the long-term consequences for affected communities were devastating. Harvey has sparked debate about climate change and the need for more effective disaster preparedness in the future. storms created a horrific scene as they swept through the affected areas. Even the most sturdy homes could not withstand the force of the storm, with many losing their roofs, revealing the devastation inside. Strong winds toppled trees, turning them into piles of rubble that blocked the road. Cars parked on the side of the road or in garages were swept away by the floodwaters or severely damaged by falling trees, crushed and unrecognizable. The scene not only demonstrated the terrible destructive power, when the storm passed, the scene before us was a flooded land with houses, streets, and trees heavily damaged. The work of residents and authorities became extremely urgent. People began to clean up debris, floating trash, and damaged items in and around their homes. Meanwhile, rescue and environmental sanitation teams were also deployed to collect trash, treat wastewater, and prevent the risk of water pollution. Hazardous materials, such as chemicals or spilled oil, were carefully handled to avoid harming the environment. Cleanup and recovery after a storm not only helps to restore normal life, but also plays an important role in protecting the environment and public health.